So what is the service and why has the NIHR introduced it?
The NIHR Patient Engagement in Clinical Development Service has been designed to facilitate the relationship between the life science industry, patients and the public to ensure we can have that patient voice embedded right the way through the clinical design process. The life science industry has traditionally struggled to engage directly with patients and the public, and by facilitating that relationship we're hoping to be able to overcome those barriers.
Why should patients get involved?
Ultimately, this is an excellent opportunity for patients to be involved in the clinical design process, to be involved as partners, to identify the obstacles to enabling patients to be enrolled into clinical research, to make trials more accessible, to make trials more successful, and ultimately leading to better health outcomes for all.
And what does it mean to be involved?
So there are a number of ways patients can be involved in this. It may be simply reviewing some patient-facing documentation or being involved in a patient insight session, providing their own experiences of clinical trials, for example, providing a commentary on the clinical design stage itself.
So how can I or anybody else get involved?
So we'll be reaching out to patient organisations to advertise the opportunity. They can reach out to their membership. Likewise, we'll be advertising this on online platforms such as the NIHR CRN's Be Part of Research, and NIHR Involves People in Research.
And where might that involvement take place?
We'll be hosting these events in independent venues, which may be an NIHR office base, for example, or an independent venue. We'll try and ensure that these are as convenient as possible for participants to attend.
What should I expect to do on the day?
Depending on the nature of the ask, if you're attending a patient insight session, for example, you'd be meeting an NIHR facilitator who will take you through some basic paperwork, and then you'll have an opportunity to review a study protocol, for example, and the NIHR facilitator on the day will be leading that session. They'll be engaging you and giving you an opportunity to share your opinions and your experiences with everyone in the room.
Do I need to have any research experience or expertise?
Not necessarily, no. We're trying to encourage individuals with a range of experiences to be able to participate in one of these asks effectively. It may be you have a lot of experience or not at all. Equally, we very much value your opinion.
Will any expenses be covered?
Yes. We'll ensure that any expenses which are incurred will be covered. So, for example, the NIHR facilitator will be arranging your train travel, for example. And likewise, we'll be reimbursing you for your time and efforts using an NIHR Involved costing guide.
How will my data be used?
So the NIHR facilitator will not share your data with any third parties. They'll capture some key information from yourself, but always with consent. Furthermore, it's entirely up to you how much information you wish to share with our life science partners involved in that session.
What happens at the end of my involvement? Will I find out what happens next and find out what happens to my data?
So we're encouraging our life science partners to share with you the outcomes and learnings of these activities, the changes they've made to the clinical design process, for example, of the clinical trial protocol. And likewise, if they haven't been able to implement changes, the reasons behind this, which may be ethical or scientific in nature.
So what's the best way for people to find out more?
There's a wealth of information available on the NIHR Patient Engagement in Clinical Development Service website.